Hi, I'm Mike Holtzclaw, the Communications Coordinator for the City of Hampton. This is Round Robin. I am guest hosting today, and our guest is Melissa Holt, the franchise owner for the new Chicken Salad Chick that opened in December at the Peninsula Town Center. Melissa, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, first off, tell me a little bit about your background. You didn't grow up in Hampton, but you grew up right near here, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Newport News. I went to Menchville, go Monarchs. Loved the area, but when I went to college, I decided to venture out a little bit. So I went down to Carrollton, Georgia, and played volleyball at West Georgia, and then went to grad school at Auburn and moved around the country with my previous employer for the last 10 years and decided to come back.
You got your MBA at Auburn.
Yeah.
Now, and you said you were moving around the country with a previous employer. Was that
Yeah.
also in the restaurant or hospitality industry?
It was. I worked for Domino's. I was in a development program with them and got the chance to work in the stores and as a general manager, assistant manager prior to that, and then supervising. Really fell in love with operations, not necessarily the late nights, early mornings, but more so the team that you get to work with and the closeness and also, just the interaction with guests and how you can change somebody's day just by giving them a good meal.
Change someone's day by giving them a good meal. I don't know that a lot of restaurant operators think in those terms. And I don't mean that they're only thinking about how much money am I making,
Right.
but feeding someone is a really fundamental thing. And when you get a
Absolutely.
good meal, it really does, it changes your mood. Is that something that's important to you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love making like putting a smile on somebody's face, and also I know that when I'm hungry, I am not the best version of me. And so if somebody's coming in and they're having a rough day and maybe they aren't being as polite or as nice as you might hope, you give them kindness back, and then you give them their meal that they hope for, make it a great experience, and they're gonna hopefully have a good day after that because they were treated with grace in a moment that maybe they weren't able to show it.
When did you start thinking in terms of owning a restaurant, franchising a restaurant? Were you already thinking about that when you started the MBA program, or is that something that you've really thought about a long time?
For the last few years, but definitely not when I was in my MBA. Honestly, I was one of those kids that went and did my MBA as a backup plan. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had been a triple major in undergrad, and then still didn't know. Decided to do my MBA because I was able to get a grad assistantship to pay for it. So figured, well, I'm not going to put myself in more debt, but at least I can get some time figured out. And really just fell into the development program for Domino's through like a job posting, and somehow they said I could travel a lot with them, and that kind of caught my eye, and it worked out. And then
You like the idea of traveling
yeah.
and seeing the country?
Yes, I did.
Great thing about an MBA is you can apply it to anything.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so what brought you to Chicken Salad Chick?
Okay, so I was out in Las Vegas for Domino's, working as a supervisor out there, covering 9 stores, and you're in your car a lot between the stores, and so I would listen to podcasts and stuff to pass the time. I was listening to How I Built This by Guy Raz, and Stacy Brown, who is our founder, had an episode, and I had been a guest at Chicken Salad Chick back in the day when I went to Auburn because it was founded there, but I hadn't really remembered because I'd been gone for so long. So that podcast really brought me back, and her story, if you ever get the chance to listen to it, it's an amazing story. She really, a really good example of the American dream, needed to find a way to support her family, was going door to door, selling her chicken salad, the whole nine, and has now built this empire. And so that really caught my eye, my ear really, and she mentioned that she was franchising, or they were looking for franchisees, and kind of just filed it away. I was still in a role that I really loved, and when I transitioned to the next role that I enjoyed I enjoyed the people I worked with, but it wasn't necessarily where my heart lay. And I started thinking more about franchising for Domino's, because that was where my expertise were. But then I realized, the work-life balance isn't as strong, and restaurant ownership is very hard. And I saw some wonderful franchisees go through a lot of hardships. Not that I'm not willing to do that, but also that you want to set yourself up for as much success as possible. So I started looking at other opportunities, and this was available here, and the more I found out, the more I loved it.
It pays to listen to podcasts, doesn't
It does.
it? Chicken salad. I will admit, I don't know her backstory.
Yeah.
But I've heard similar stories to that with people who start out making one thing,
Mm-hmm.
making it good, and kind of selling it out of their car.
Yep.
And eventually building it up. And it seems to me it fills a void. If you're selling
Yes.
hamburgers, if you're selling tacos,
Mm-hmm.
if you're selling chicken, everybody is selling those things.
Right.
Nobody was out there selling chicken salad.
Right, it's very niche, and that's the comment we get a lot from our guests is, this is something different. I wanted something different today, so I figured I'd try you out, and then they come back, and it's so when you have 13 different flavors, there's typically something for everybody. Especially when people call Classic Carol a basic flavor, but it's really just the original flavor, and she's good on her own. I mean, she's delicious.
She
Yeah.
is delicious. They have personalities, don't they?
Yeah, so all the flavors are named after some of Stacy's close friends and family, and they're named aptly to their personalities. And so when you meet Kick and Kaylin, she's got a fiery personality. So some of the flavors have her friends who are named after them that are now franchisees for the brand as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is the chicken salad going to be that's named after you?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'll ever be there, but if I had one, it'd probably be an Old Bay flavor.
That's very good, actually, for Hampton. We
Yes,
love our
I think
seafood.
so. We're working on it.
How would you describe to someone who hasn't eaten there,
Mm-hmm.
people who haven't eaten chicken salad they hear chicken salad. Everybody
Absolutely.
likes chicken salad. It's chicken and mayonnaise or salad dressing, a couple things mixed in. How in the world could you make 13 different flavors of it? How would you describe to someone how distinct each of I'm not asking you to describe each flavor,
Right.
but how do you make them different enough that someone wants to try each one?
Absolutely. Yeah. So all 13 of our flavors are in different flavor categories. So we have a traditional category that has a couple flavors. We've got a fruity and nutty category that has 3 flavors. Savory is the most unique. I always say it's flavors that you definitely don't typically find anywhere else. And that's got 4 different flavors in it, and then 3 in our spicy category. So realistically, when somebody comes in for the first time, I just say, let's get you narrowed down on the category you want to try first. So, did grandma make grapes and apples, or are you looking for more of something more unique? Because our Sassy Scotty flavor has ranch bacon and cheddar. Who has that in chicken salad, really? I wouldn't think about it. And then we've got flavors like buffalo, which I always say, that's actually more of like a buffalo chicken dip, just cold. And so there's ways that you can kind of equate it to other things that people love to help them kind of bridge the gap on, well, that seems a little weird. And then I always tell them I hated chicken salad, wouldn't go near it, would never try my mom. She's still mad about it to this day. But when I tried chicken salad chick for the first time, I was I didn't want to miss out on a friend's lunch, and I needed something to eat. And somebody did the same thing for me, which was just like, we'll just get you to the things you like, and you'll like it in this, we promise. And turned out it was true.
That's funny. So what was the first one you tried?
Fruity Fran, because I love fruit, and I didn't want any nuts in it.
And was it immediately, oh my God, this is life-changing, or was it, this isn't bad, I'll try more?
Yeah, so it was a little bit of both. I was like, wow, like really impressed. Like it kind of really changed my perspective on all chicken salad. But then I really loved that there was pineapple in it. I'd never seen chicken salad with pineapple. I'd always had it where it was just like grapes and nuts and like big chunks of celery. I don't like big chunks of celery, as do most people. So all of the elements of chicken salad chick's recipes are built in a way that they try to be as comfortable as possible to the broader audience while also being just absolutely delicious.
Did you make a conscious decision, I want to come home to Hampton Roads, to Virginia, or was it more, this is where an opportunity was?
Yeah, both. But I made a conscious decision that I wanted to be at least closer to home. I'd been at least 12 hours away for 10 years, and I've always liked this area. I really wanted to see more of the country, but I knew that my family was going to be here, very close to my family. I've got a twin sister and an older brother. He doesn't live here anymore, but my twin sister was here. She was having her first baby. My parents are here. And, you can't really beat an area where you drive anywhere and you're probably maybe 10 minutes from a beach, right? So when I was looking at opportunities, I was specifically looking for opportunities that were available around here.
You opened in December.
Yes, sir.
Right. This is, I'm not a businessman, but you hear, this is a very difficult time to be starting a business, opening a business.
Yes.
Aside from the challenges of just being a first-time franchise owner,
Yeah.
what challenges did you face opening a restaurant when the country was still dealing with so many COVID restrictions?
Yeah, so one of the biggest ones, I don't think this is any surprise, especially right now, cost. So as soon as we signed our contract deal, all lumber rose a ton, everything that we needed to build out rose a ton, and so cost immediately went from, what we were expecting to much more. Other than that, it was really probably just the typical growing pains. I have a great attitude and I'll always get there, but man, I am a mess sometimes. So thankfully I have a wonderful family that helps me, that was helping me figure it out. I had a lot of franchisees with Domino's that I was reaching out to, and the franchise system for Chicken Salad Chick has been amazing to help. It was interesting though, when we opened, there was so much talk about it's so hard to staff, it's so hard to staff. And yeah, I definitely recognize it's a more challenging atmosphere than I think I've seen before. But I found we've had really no problem staffing. Frankly, we're overstaffed, and we have wonderful people that show up every day ready to work. And I don't know where we found them, but I'm so grateful for them. We wouldn't be where we are without them.
It speaks to the work environment that you've created.
Thank
They
you.
want to come in.
Thank you. But they create it, right? I mean, it's everybody together, and they show up every day ready to treat each other well and help each other out. Somebody's having a bad day, somebody's there to say, hey, if you don't want to be at register today because you're in a bad mood, you go in the back, I'll take care of this, we'll be fine.
You obviously have a good background. Before you mentioned you were supervising 9 Domino's in your mid-20s. And so you obviously know what you're doing, but this is your first time being the boss, being the franchise owner. Tell me, that has to be a learning process.
Absolutely.
Tell me one or two of the biggest lessons that you learned or the biggest surprises that you faced becoming a franchise owner.
So I think one has more to do with my personality type. I'm very much I've been called overly empathetic a lot, and it might sound very self-serving, but it's almost to a disservice to the people around me when you let too much stuff go and you don't set enough boundaries. That can create a tougher environment for the people that are, having to pick up slack or needing to, somebody got away with something that maybe I could have been a little tougher on and somebody else had to take care of it, kind of thing. So I've been learning how to do people well and giving them correct feedback rather than just, never saying, hey, you got to do better than that. You're not, it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad employee, but I still need to push you. Because when you don't tell people and give them feedback, you're not giving them an ability to get better and move up in their own careers. Other than that, I have found more than ever how disorganized I am. I have give so much credit to every franchisee, franchisor, business owner out there for everything that they're able to manage. I'm learning it every day, and we're getting better every day. But also, even the past month, there's been things that I was like, oh my gosh, how did I miss that? How did I forget to do that? All of those things, and that growth has been the biggest, and just recognizing how much goes on behind the scenes that no one knows about. And I never realized I had worked with 25 franchisees and 150 stores with Domino's in my role after supervising. I should have figured some of those things out, but what you don't see, you don't know. And it was really eye-opening. I've enjoyed it, but wow, it was a lot.
You never stop learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your favorite chicken salad flavor?
Ooh, it rotates. Currently, it's Olivia's Old South. I think that's always going to be one of my most favorite, but it really rotates between 5 of them.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Melissa Holt, for coming in today.
Absolutely.
And we love to let people know about the new restaurants and the new businesses here. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I am Mike Holtzclaw, the Communications Coordinator for the City of Hampton. This has been Round Robin. Thank you.